Welcome back to the Crypto's Key conversation. I'm going to try to be as brief as I can with this one. I got my boys with me today, and I got to take advantage of their nap time here. So we're going to start with this one from Watcher Guru. It says, House Financial Services Committee passes bill protecting right to self-custody Bitcoin and crypto. So we're seeing some major moves, man, in regards of these bills and, starting to try to establish some regulatory frameworks and so on, man. Some monumentous moments, man. So hopefully these things keep running up and keep passing. BC Backer throws this up in regards of his TA that he's been throwing up. So he had put this up on the 21st, talking about the Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ stock indexes all closed above the 0.78 Fibonacci retrace. This is the last Fib retrace level. However, could it have muddied the waters and cut any closer? So he puts these up here, and as you can see, if you can see it on there, if you're not driving or anything, that he shows that it's there. And he was showing how it's significant. He goes, all indexes continue their rise up this week, definitely closing above the 0.786 retrace for all of them. So he was talking about how this is point to signs in the macro, things look good. So just going to be a waiting game to kind of see what happens. And I know he puts a lot of correlations between the regular stock market and the crypto market as well. And obviously you have Jerome Powell and the Fed continuing to increase our interest rate hikes. I think we went up 25 basis points. So until I think he was talking about until we get to the point to where they pivot and start having a more dovish approach, the macro is still looking really, really good when it comes to crypto. And obviously we're going to be running into the Bitcoin halving and all that stuff. Hopefully we get some sort of bill passed and we get some regulatory clarity for the space and some sort of guideline. There could be a lot of catalysts. I mean, you have spot Bitcoin ETFs, maybe a possible, Ethereum, maybe an XRP ETF. I mean, who knows? The sky can really be the limit. And there could be a lot of catalysts that can really send this market just to, endless, really. The sky's the limit. Coming over here, DAI had put this up. This is Anthony Pompliano, and we've showed on this channel his tweet a long time ago in regards of him pretty much praising XRP, right? And then he completely 180'd and had the opposite, almost as if like somebody got to him like saying like, hey man, it's about Bitcoin. We gotta have this narrative. So kind of shut that down type stuff. But now he came out and he spoke on Liz Clayman's platform here. Digital Asset Investor says, I bet he doesn't want to talk about the government taking the 4 Satoshi's Homeland Security is on a video saying they met with two in court. So obviously we know about that Homeland Security agent that they sent over to talk to the 4 Satoshis, and you haven't seen any of the maxis, Bitcoin maxis, talking about that video at all. It's like almost, obviously we're speculating that they already know, or it's already known, right? Maybe a 3-letter agency, who knows the exact, but I mean, we have a good speculation based on the evidence that we have that maybe these maxis know. Obviously we don't know exactly, but they may know. And obviously they're pushing some sort of narrative and agenda, but they haven't really speculated or commented on that. So he obviously came out and I'm not going to play the entire clip because I want to get through the other stuff. But long story short, he didn't really he didn't really praise, if you will, XRP to the magnitude that it deserves in regards of, his thoughts on whether it was a security or not initially, but then having the monumentous victory. I think he was just saying like all the companies or the blockchain companies and these projects, they have to go to court and they have to, plead their case. And if they come out and the judge, gives a verdict saying that, they won in a sense, then that's great. That's what, being American and the system is about. And it's like, okay. Clearly he didn't want to FUD, the XRP army and the XRP community because, you kind of know what happens there. We hit you with facts and we have the slews in there. But, he didn't say anything bad, but it wasn't really anything great either. And he didn't really speculate on price either because Liz has asked him about, where did she see it going? But hey, probably smart play on his end. Obviously, we played this video clip a couple of videos ago where Chairman Gensler here gave his opinion on how he viewed what happened in litigation, and he didn't want to answer this woman's question in regards of how does he feel in regards of the appeal, like what is their approach and what is their stance, and he was saying that there's 5 other commissioners, and he's one of five. And I think JV hits it on the head here. No matter how Chairman Gensler feels, I think JV's right. He goes, I don't believe he has the full support of the commission to appeal the XRP ruling. That would put eyes on the rest of them, and I don't believe the other commissioners want that heat at the cost of Gensler's political motives. I think there's some truth to that, man. I mean, he has his own agenda. Obviously, he's in the pockets of the incumbents, Wall Street, whoever you want to say, right? And he has his own, career-driven narratives and agendas that he has on top of whatever his keepers are telling him to do. So, yeah, I think when it comes to the appeal side of things, it could just be that whole, act as if we have shrimp type thing, or create more chaos in the markets to continue to slow down and suppress this thing before it really pops. I don't know. We'll see. Just kind of a waiting game. Alex Cobb hits it on the head here with some XRP stuff. He says, no other crypto has made more progress globally than XRP. And we've been showing on this channel, Ripple continuing to expand. Since the drop of the lawsuit and all the way up until this point, we've been covering it. And it's huge. Even right here, this is huge that Darren had put this up. Oh, this shouldn't be planned. Let me go ahead and pause this real quick. So he goes, there are 195 countries in the world. James says 5 announced, 5 not announced. Conversations with 20 more, question mark. If the conversations turn into signed deals, that is 30 out of 195, or 15.38% running on Ripple's CBDC platform that offers private or public XRP. So pretty much he was kind of like summing what this gentleman said in this clip, and I'm not going to play, it's about a minute, but you could just see that they're, despite whatever scrutiny, negativity, FUD campaign, agendas, whatever the case is, Ripple, the company, is going to continue to expand and do what they do and continue to grow. Like, they're set out to achieve a certain goal, so they're going to achieve that goal. And obviously, we talked about Brad Garlinghouse talking about them getting to other verticals and scaling, whether it's organically or by acquisition. They're going to continue to do what they got to do. Now, when it comes to XRP, XRPL, obviously the integration and connection or correlation with CBDCs, it's going to be a waiting game to kind of see how everything lays out. But if Ripple and XRP and XRPL and it is the solution to making this CBDC thing efficient, maybe it plays a big role in it, and it could be astronomical when it comes to the price of XRP. So it's a lot of it's speculation, and people try to kind of throw out what they think it means and how involved, XRP and XRPL and Ripple's going to be with this thing. But, no one really knows. All we can do is do the best we can. But hey, we know that Ripple, the company, is continuing to expand, and we know what XRP is set out to do, how powerful XRP and XRPL is going to be moving forward, especially with the only one having true and legal and lawful regulatory clarity being not a security. So this is exciting, man. Going to continue here. Even this, it says Bitcoin analyst projects XRP price to skyrocket 2,397% to $26 this next bull run. So I just think this stuff is just kind of interesting to talk about. No one really knows. Obviously, we know we've been suppressed, and all these other digital assets in the top 10 hadn't hit new all-time highs, and we weren't a part of the last bull cycle. I think we hit a high as like $1.90 or something. Previous all-time high was in the $3.40, $3.80 range, depending on the exchange you're using. So it's just a kind of it's a real toss-up. I personally go more on the sides of like BC backers and analysts in his realm that kind of talk about the Fibonacci levels and possibly getting to that that I think it was saying $10 to $13 range, maybe that $15 range. That's kind of what I'm kind of in a sense putting my name in that hat in that sense. I'm not thinking anything too. I don't think this is wild at all, but I'm saying for me, taking a more conservative approach to my investing and profit-taking strategy, that's kind of how I'm analyzing things, especially because I just showed you in the previous a couple videos ago how the gentleman had passed up, I think it was like almost $900,000, right? Didn't take any profit or anything. I had that similar experience because I was like, oh, I'm waiting for this. If people are saying, oh, I'm waiting for $26, $30, $50 XRP, then dude, you could be waiting for God knows how long. It could be. I mean, it can happen in weeks, months. It can happen, by the time this thing takes off in the next bull cycle. Who knows when it's going to happen? My strategy personally is to have a plan, have it plan in place. Don't be a pig and profit take at my profit take areas. And that's just kind of what it is. No matter how I feel, no matter how I think it gets, I can literally drop half of my portfolio at my certain targets, right? And it can shoot up double from that. And you know what? I just got to eat that, because I know in the past I've been burned and screwed. I don't want to miss the little things that happen in between me investing and then the end goal of, okay, I've made this much money, right? No, I want to enjoy the little things in between that, especially with my boys. So that's just personally for me. Hey, if $26 happens, that's great. That's, XRP being a big part of my portfolio. That'd be very beneficial. But yeah, I think that's interesting. Anyways, we're going to continue here. So this is from Watcher Guru. It says, just in, U.S. Congressman says Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto was not innovative. So I got to play this, and it's just crazy. Listen to this.
We are told that cryptocurrency is very innovative. Look at the incredible financial innovation of Enron and WorldCom, and reflect on the fact that I don't believe that Satoshi Nakamoto was innovative.
So just from a dude on the internet, you know what I'm saying, that just enjoys doing this, like, okay, completely trolling or just completely oblivious. First of all, to how do you get that name wrong in your speaking on Bitcoin and crypto? There's just no way. That is probably the most prominent name in this space. It is. I mean, outside of Bitcoin itself, right? It's crazy. So either trolling or just completely oblivious. And you shouldn't be, if that's really how you are, if it's beyond trolling and you're just completely oblivious and you don't know what's going on, you shouldn't be speaking on it. It's just straight up, man. But I think Patrick McHenry hits it on the head here. It says, just saying, U.S. Congressman Patrick McHenry says Bitcoin is a financial revolution. But then you got this gentleman saying Satoshi Nakamoto was not innovative. No. I don't know how you can have the facts and evidence and just the use case and the growth in just this space, right? How can you say that? I mean, this is, if we just look at the total market cap, we're currently sitting at a 1.2 trillion. How is that not innovative? I call Bitcoin the mothership, right? The mothership of the crypto space. Like, look at this. How is that not innovative? That's crazy. And this is just the beginning. So we're going to continue on here. That guy, Brad Sherman, is a trip. JD's responding to Caitlin Long here, says, seal officially broken. The Fed now faces 3 lawsuits over Fed master accounts in the 2nd, 9th, and 10th circuits. 3 lawsuits in 3 different circuits. And then she says, I'll leave this lawyers to explain this. So she put that up the other day and we covered it in our video. But JD responded and says, this is a big deal. Remember what I said about Caitlin and custodian banks? Oh my gosh, I hope you guys can't hear that, man. This toilet in my room just like breathes on its own sometimes. Sometimes you just got to take a big breath for some reason, and it annoys the heck out of me. It says, after considering Choke Point 2.0, Caitlin's fight is arguably just as important, if not more, as the Ripple XRP case. The Fed, just like the SEC, has been ignoring the statutory mandate. The court cases threaten to end the Fed's arbitrary and capricious conduct. Those are some capricious. In the near future, Crypto Law US plans to cover these cases more in depth. So I'm interested to see kind of how these things unravel, man. You can see people are going on the offensive and fighting the good fight, man. They're tired of these powers, the government powers, and these corrupt individuals and groups, really trying to stifle this innovation and growth in this space, and really trying to just fit their own narrative. This is interesting right here as well, because this from Watcher Guru says, in 2022, the U.S. Senate passed a bill to hire 87,000 new IRS agents to investigate citizens' finances. Now, peep this. It says, yesterday, the Senate blocked a bill to monitor and audit billions of taxpayer dollars sent to Ukraine. So I want to take the whole, Ukraine, and this isn't anything political, but I just want to say something real quick. I was actually having a conversation with one of my best friends, and he and I were just kind of blown away by like how dumb they think we are. And when I say they, I mean like these politicians, these government officials, like perfect example when it comes to like insider trading, and this is just me speculating, based on the facts that I've seen coming to, when it comes to insider trading of these government officials, like how are they, out beating, the S&P or, the SPY or whatever. And, they make, their hundreds of thousands as government representatives, but then they're crushing it. Their portfolios are hundreds of millions, right? That's just one facet, right? But then you have the audacity to hire 87,000 new IRS agents to investigate us. But when it comes to auditing the billions of taxpayer dollars sent to Ukraine, this is just an example. I'm not saying anything Ukraine or political related. I'm just kind of speculating on just the whole thing here. Like, how is that not a bad look? You know what I'm saying? I don't know all the ins and outs of the bill that was blocked, but like just when it comes to this segment, it's like, really? That's a perfect example of, I don't even know what else it is, but like it just reminds me of like the whole rich get rich or poor get poor thing. It's like, we can do this, but you can't, right? And you're talking about fairness and freedom, but no, it's all control, and the system is made for their benefit. They find the loopholes. They think about a perfect example. We just covered Sam Bankman-Fried, right? And charges being dropped from him, right? But I guaranteed if we were to do anything remotely to the degree that he did, we'd be locked up in a heartbeat, right? That's just crazy, man. And it goes into the crypto space as well. We can do this, but you can't type stuff. That's the mentality, and it's crazy. We can't get away with that as normal people. But yeah, that's and that's taxpayers' dollars though. So you want to investigate us, but then we can't know what's going on with the taxpayer dollars, right? And then you got Chairman Gensler, an unelected official in the SEC funded by taxpayers, and he's not protecting those investors that he so-called set out to protect. This is crazy, man. And I said it before on this channel. The day that someone comes out with a documentary in this space, it's going to cover more than just what happens in this space. But if they do it the right way, it would be probably the most intriguing and interesting documentary ever. Because there's just so much stuff, man. And like I said in my previous video, I've learned a lot more about corruption and how, things are set up for the people that got money to be successful. And they want us to stay here. They want us to be the sheep continuing to be herded. It's like, no, bro, you got to open up your mind and educate yourself and do something different. You know what I'm saying? Don't just do what what they're telling you. See what they're doing behind the scene. And follow the money in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We talk about that, in the crypto community. Follow the money. Don't do as they say. Do as they do in a sense. It's crazy, man. I got to make sure I get mine for my family and I, man, and really change the financial life and just overall life of my family, man. It's crazy. Pomp put this out, and yeah, that rant's over. Pomp put this out and says, this does not seem like a good thing. Percentage of Congress over the age of 70, right? And this is like skyrocketing, right? And then, so we got Justin responding to Jake Travinsky here, saying ages of the six, because Jake Travinsky says this is a story day for crypto policy. Financial Committee just advanced the FIT for the 21st Century Act by a vote of 35 to 15, including significant support from the Democratic members. And then Justin says ages of 6 Democrats that vote for the bill: 35, 41, 47, 48, 50, 57, average of 46. The average age of the rest of the House Financial Service Committee Democrats is 61. More than anything else, age dictates Democratic members' views on crypto and whether legislations or on crypto is needed. So the whole political thing, okay, for me in this channel, it's merely interesting, but I just think the whole thought process of, our representatives being a certain age and them not, put it like this, in most jobs and thought process, right, you have generational differences, right? So if you have members in their 70s, 80s, 90s, right, that are in these high positions of power, they're stuck in their own ways and they're stuck in the old ways, and they're not going to like, this new emergent technology and, how things are changing. Look what's happened between the, the differences in generations. Like you have all those millennials and all those Gen Zs, they don't work hard and this, now you have just all this stuff, right? All this negativity. So of course, if we have representatives in positions of power that have that can influence policy, right? I mean, when it comes to the crypto space, like you could see how there could be trouble and conflicts there in regards of, getting the votes needed to allow this space to flourish. So I think that's why they're throwing up a lot of this stuff. What is this? Mental Lawman says this is such a good sign. Whose support would you rather have, the younger generation or the old guard who are baffled and fearful of new technology? Come, senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway. Don't block up the hall. The times are a changing. Bob Dylan, 1964. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of on that same wavelength. But we're gonna continue here. So Cypress Deminiker, I've shouted out his tweets a couple of times. It says Congress came in clutch, absolutely massive statement in my opinion. And you know for a fact he was hinting at the Ripple case. Quote: "We need to make sure we look at the language that doesn't give an overly aggressive SEC an opportunity at all to take people back to the court that they have already had to settle with." So that was huge. And because we're already at 20 minutes, I'm not going to play it, but I want you to see the gentleman here, right here, Mr. Scott. That's a huge statement right here. Bill Morgan says there's also a doctrine called res judica that means an issue decided by a court between two parties cannot be litigated again. But I assume he means litigating under new legislation against a party previously sued by the SEC, such as Ripple. Huge. Hey, we'll take it, right? And I want to just throw this up because we're talking about where we're going in the market. We talked about being at phase one. We're in phase one of the next bull cycle, according to why am I blanking on the name? Steve from I forgot his name. This crypto channel, but he's a TA guy that I kind of reference. But he was saying we're in phase one. Benjamin Cowan's talking about what's happening right now, and he put up this screenshot here. It says Bitcoin has fallen below its bull market support band every August and September of its pre-halving year. So then he puts these up here, and other people were saying that it happens multiple times, but he was just kind of showcasing this. So I'm assuming he's saying, don't be alarmed at where we're at. We could fall more. Who knows? But it's just going to be a waiting game to kind of see what happens. All these prices right now for me are just merely interesting, just a waiting game to kind of see how things unravel in this next bull cycle. But we're currently sitting at a 52 on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, sitting at a neutral. Let me go ahead and move this over here. But yeah, that's what I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.